আমি মহুয়া আপনাদের সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাই এই চ্যানেল বিদেশে মহুয়াতে। আজ শুক্রবার 12ই সেপ্টেম্বরের সকাল। আমি আছি শিকাগো ওহের এয়ারপোর্টে। আজকের দিনটা আমার কাছে সত্যিই বিশেষ, কারণ ঠাকুরমায়ের কৃপায় আমি যাচ্ছি হান্টসভিল, আলাবামা, শ্রদ্ধেয় মহারাজ ঈশাত্মানন্দজি এবং স্বামী সত্যমানন্দজি মহারাজের সাথে। আমরা সব ভক্তরা একসাথে হান্টসভিল, আলাবামা যাচ্ছি, কারণ ওখানে 12, 13 এবং 14 তারিখে অনুষ্ঠিত হতে চলেছে নর্থ আমেরিকা বেদান্ত কনফারেন্স, যেখানে পুরো আমেরিকার বিভিন্ন বেদান্ত সোসাইটি থেকে 12 জন শ্রদ্ধেয় সন্ন্যাসী এবং 4 জন শ্রদ্ধেয়া মাতাজি আসছেন। এই অনুষ্ঠানে শ্রদ্ধেয় মহারাজেরা দ্বৈত বেদান্ত, অদ্বৈত বেদান্ত, বিশিষ্ট অদ্বৈত বেদান্ত, সমন্বয় বেদান্ত নিয়ে আলোচনা করবেন। এই ব্লগে আমি আপনাদের সঙ্গে শেয়ার করব এই সফরের সুন্দর মুহূর্তগুলো, যাত্রাপথের অভিজ্ঞতা আর অবশ্যই মহারাজদের অমূল্য বাণী। আশা করি আপনারাও এই ভক্তিময় যাত্রায় আমার সঙ্গে থাকবেন। নর্থ আমেরিকা বেদান্ত কনফারেন্স, আ জার্নি টুয়ার্ডস স্পিরিচুয়াল ইউনিটি অ্যান্ড ব্লিসফুল ডিভিনিটি। উত্তর আমেরিকা বেদান্ত সম্মেলন আধ্যাত্মিক ঐক্যের পথে এক মহতী যাত্রা এবং ঈশ্বরীয় আনন্দের পবিত্র অভিজ্ঞতা। এই সম্মেলনের আয়োজন করছে হিন্দু কালচারাল সেন্টার অফ নর্থ আলাবামা। অনুষ্ঠানটি অনুষ্ঠিত হচ্ছে ভন ব্রাউন সেন্টার, 700 মনরো স্ট্রিট, হান্টসভিল, আলাবামা। আমরা হান্টসভিল এয়ারপোর্ট পৌঁছে গেছি। এবার এখান থেকে যাচ্ছি এম্বাসি সুইটস হোটেলে। এই হোটেলের সঙ্গেই যুক্ত ভন ব্রাউন সেন্টার, যেখানে অনুষ্ঠিত হবে নর্থ আমেরিকা বেদান্ত কনফারেন্স। আপনারাও যে যেখান থেকে এই ব্লগটি দেখছেন, তারাও চলুন আমাদের সাথে এই সুন্দর পবিত্র অনুষ্ঠানের সাক্ষী হয়ে থাকতে।
cultivate compassion and generosity. These revered ascetics strive for self-liberation while serving humanity, encapsulating in the motto, Atmana Mokshar and Gurus on stage. The word Guru comes from the Sanskrit word Gu, darkness, and Ru, dispeller, symbolizing a teacher who brings light and understanding to students' lives. A guru helps a disciple discover their own spiritual potential, shares experiential knowledge, and acts as an inspirational guide for their spiritual evolution.
Revered speakers, dear devotees, sisters, brothers, organizers, and friends. Namaskar, Namaste. Good evening. Please allow me to begin with my reverential salutations to our distinguished speakers and a very warm welcome to all of you for your gracious presence at the North America Vedanta Conference. Our theme is a journey towards spiritual unity and blissful divinity. Vedanta is regarded as the highest darshan of Sanatana Dharma, the knowledge of which is principally derived from the terminal part of Vedas as revealed by Rishis.
Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. My pranams to the revered Swamijis, Matajis present here, and namaste to all of you. Welcome to this first session of this wonderful North America Vedanta Conference. It's a very unique gathering here. We are gathered here in Huntsville, in the Von Braun Conference Center. Very quickly, introducing this session. What is Vedanta? As Dr. Subir just told us, it is verily the Upanishads. Textually speaking, if you consider what Vedanta is, the definition, Vedanta Nama Upanishad Pramana. Vedanta is the source of spiritual knowledge called the Upanishads. So that's the textual source of the Vedanta. And we have other texts also, the Bhagavad Gita, which is maybe the most famous, well-known text of Vedanta all over the world.
1 to 5, but in the last verse, 16, I will chant and then please repeat. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam,
Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam,
Govindam Bhaja Mudamate,
Govindam Bhaja Gauravate,
Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam,
भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं
गोविन्दं भज मूढमते प्राप्ते सन्निध्ये मरणे नहि नहि रक्षति डुक्रीं करणे
नहि नहि रक्षति दुःखीं करणे
भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं
भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं
दिनमपि रजनी सायं प्रातः शिशिरवसन्तो पुनरायातः कालक्रीडति गच्छत् आयु तदपि न मुञ्चति आशावायुः भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं
भज गोविन्दं
जागद्विद्दो पार्जन शब्द उदरनिमित्तं बहुकृतवेषः भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं
Dvaita before Chaitanya. Chaitanya was in the 15th century. And how do we go about studying Dvaita before that period? And oftentimes there are two ways of studying any subject. One is, of course, to kind of go and take a look at specific teachers or traditions before Chaitanya to see how those Dvaita traditions developed and were propagated.
An hidden weakness. And we find that not eligible aspirants took up this doctrine, this great sentiments in bhakti, and it degenerated. And so Swamiji said it has made only people weak. So there's nothing wrong with the doctrine, but the practitioners, and that's what the whole doctrine became degenerate in time. Another development was, like we are talking about great logic chopping, Advaita, etc. Yes, you want to dry your brains. As he said, read all these Advaita books, oh my God.
His interior life, its depth and magnitude, lies first and foremost in her relationship with Sri Ramakrishna, the Avatar. To even attempt to study her spiritual experiences, ranging from aspects of Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, and Advaita, we must first go to the source, her relationship with Sri Ramakrishna as the spiritual consort of an avatar, and all that that means.
The so-called duality, let us chant this mantra and make this whole atmosphere structured with that God, Vishnu. Please repeat after me. Jayo Shankha Gadadhara Neela Kalevara Pita Patambara Dehi Padam Jaya Shankha Gadadhara Breakfast was not that good. Jaya Shankha Gadadhara
Jaya Shankar Gadadhara
Neela Kalevara Pita Patambara Chandana Charchita
Jaya Chandana Charchita
Kundala Mandita Kaustubha Shobhita Dehi Padam Jaya Shankar Gadadhara Angima Sundara Dehi Padam Jaya Shankar Gadadhara
Devananda ji and Prapandananda ji and my loving salutations, namaskars to all other Swamis and Matajis, and my loving greetings and congratulations to all the devotees and friends who have assembled from all different places around. It's amazing. I'm not going to comment much on that because it has already been told that how beautiful this whole organization has been. And so my thanks to all the organizers, and let me turn towards today's this topic that has been allocated to me by the great Swami Vishishtadvaita. He is my friend, you know. But he told that this is a difficult topic, we'll give to Yogatmana. See, if friends are like that, who needs enemies? So, and not only Vishishtadvaita further, elaborated as before Ramanujacharya. I imagine what a difficult topic it will be. I am not a student much of Vishishtadvaita philosophy or Vedanta, but then he likes to throw curveballs at me. And I said, okay, you are throwing curveballs to me, I will try to score a home run. So Vishishtadvaita is a school of philosophy, and although as our dear Sarvpriyananda translated literally as it means a particular Vishishta special category of non-dualism. When one studies that, you can see that it is a variety of dualism, not a variety of non-dualism. The categorical difference of the three is always maintained, but with connectedness. So, and this comes from our day-to-day experience. All these philosophies are springing up from the experience of people and how they try to analyze and fathom the meaning of that experience. One part of that experience is, the feeling, the experience of I and the world. That is matter of experience. I am and I see and I enjoy. Sometimes I am not able to enjoy this world. Sometimes it gives me pain, sometimes it gives me pleasures and all that. I hanker after getting many different things of the world. Okay, that's true. And then the third deity, third thing in this, after the two, I and the world, emerges as a matter of, logic. Logic is also based on experience. So, connecting the different experiences and arriving at something that is not experientially perceived, that is what is inference or logic. So we infer the existence of a God, the God or a God, whatever it is. A God, when you see different types of controllers, they each have a domain of control. So, and the God means the one who is controller of all these little controllers. So, the God is inferred, not experienced as such, because we know that to manage even a small thing you require a controlling authority. Even a city like Huntsville has a mayor, and a city council to control it.
Dvaita, Shuddhadvaita, Dvaitadvaita, and so on. That we all heard in the introduction from Swami Sarvapriyanand yesterday. And today the topic given to me is Vishishtadvaita during Ramanujacharya's time. So Ramanujacharya was born in 1017 and he's supposed to have attained Mahasamadhi in 1137. That is, he lived for 120 years in Srirangam, his headquarters. So he established Srimats or the Mathas that follow the Vishishtadvaita theory. But Vishishtadvaita, Ramanuja, these records have been substantiated by future realization. The classical treatises are 6 in number and are called the darshan because they either did not develop further and or were absorbed into the Vedanta, Navamika, because they constitute the end portions or the culmination of the philosophy of Vedas. Anyone who wants to evolve a system of thought based on the Upanishads faces an intellectual and methodological challenge, not in terms of realization of the ultimate reality. The challenge and the individual soul, Jiva, found within it with the ultimate reality called Brahman. Another set of statements, however, also found in the Upanishads, distinguishes clearly between these three, Jagat, Jiva, and Brahman. This triad of Brahman, Jiva, and Jagat, the ultimate reality, the individual beings and the universe, is central to Vedantic thoughts. How do you formulate a consistent philosophy based on the Upanishads? By reconciling these two sets of statements, it might be helpful here to recall how Shankara, to whom Advaita Vedanta owes its classical formulations, but argues
and maintained this unified identity as Uvaya Vedantism, honoring both Sanskrit Vedas and Tamil Divya Puranas as scriptural authority. Over time, differences emerged regarding the relative importance of Sanskrit and Tamil scriptures. Some teachers emphasized Sanskrit Vedas, while others focused on Tamil Divya Prabandha. This led a major split in the community in two sets, the Tengalai and the Vedagalai. Means southern and northern cultures, respectively. Galai means language, which manifests culture also. Vedagalai or northern language means Sanskrit. And southern language means Tamil.
I think what we don't know so much is actually how applied and related. For anything to be meaningful for us, it has to be real. It has to be part of our lives. It has to be integrated into our hearts, or else it's just kind of chewing material for the brain. And it's going to be information, but it's not going to be life-changing. It's not going to feed our soul. It's not going to be something that we're going to be able to think, oh, wow, that really helped. We need something to kind of help us. We really need to have some power in our spiritual life. So I think what's helpful for us here is how we can practice Vishishtadvaita in the Ramakrishna Vedanta tradition today, because that's actually what we're doing all the time. I'm using Ramanuja here as kind of my measuring tape just for the sake of talking about the practice of Vishishtadvaita. You know, as we know, Ramanuja identified Brahman with Vishnu and Narayana. Now, we might identify Brahman with Shri Krishna or Holy Mother, or as Kali or Shiva. Sri Ramakrishna said Kali is verily Brahman and Brahman is verily Kali. It's one and the same reality. But for us, the question is, well, how do we approach that same reality? How do we incorporate it in our lives, and how do we make it work for us? Vishishtadvaita tells us that bhakti is the path by which we can attain the goal of life, which is liberation.
And my question is for Mataji. When you spoke about the importance of complete surrender, when I am confused whether a situation requires me to act with responsibility or to surrender, is there an inner question that I can ask myself in that moment that will guide me to the right response? Thank you.
My particular performance, or I should say, my particular practice is to take a second, pray to Mother, and ask for guidance. And whatever comes up, I try to clear my mind. Whatever comes up, that's sort of the intuition I trust. It's really situational. Often we're not in a great position to make the best judgments. So I very sincerely pray to Mother.
Thank you.
Now, after wonderful lunch, rest, chit-chatting, let us go into Samadhi. So, Om Iti Brahma. We will be discussing about the Brahman. So let us begin with this Om. Om. Mano Buddha Ahamkara Chittani Naham Naja Shotra Jive Naja Grana Netre Naja Vyoma Bhumi Na Tejo Na Vayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. Advaita before Vivekananda. Swami Sarvapriyanji, in his introduction, incidentally referred to the importance of silence as the most eloquent interpretation of commentary of Advaita. Silence, the loudest and most eloquent commentary on Advaita. The Atharva Veda, there is a mantra, Antaya Bhagavadinam Anantaya Bhagavadinam. It comes in Rigveda, so Rigveda is supposed to be more authentic. The language of the infinite is silence, and the language of the finite is verbosity. Now, that shows that Advaita existed right from Vedic times. The earliest and the first statement of Advaita
that I must congratulate the organizer of this. This is like a mini Kumbh Mela, and Amrita is being showered on us. So we are very grateful to the organizer, and I am very happy to be here. A devotee wrote, a huge temple in Alabama, Jai Bharat Mata. So, as brother has said, that this knowledge can be compressed, and it is peace. It is said, Upashanto ayam atma. We are talking something which cannot be expressed. But fortunately we can experience. It cannot be expressed, but we are that.
And Swami Vivekananda. As a custom, writers have rarely given personal details about themselves in their text. Most of the dates mentioned are based upon academic research. Post-Sankaran scholars in Advaita will have to include both monastics and householders. Moreover, some householder scholars took the vows of monasticism at a later stage of their lives. It means that some scholars are known by more than one name. For example, Janardhan can later become Anandagiri. Usually, an author whose last name is Misra or Upadhyay or Dikshita is a householder, while the names of monks are indicated by Dasanami suffixes like Giri, Puri, Bharati, then Ashram, Saraswati, Tirtha, like that. In some cases, monks are known by the terms Muni, Yuti, Yogi, etc. The Sannyasin authors mostly belong to four mathas like Govardhana in Puri, Sharadapita in Dwarka, then Singari Saravita in Singari, and Jyotirmath in Padrikashram. Household scholars belong to the communities in which the sannyasis were born and from which the abbots were chosen. The name of Vachaspati Misra, 9th century, is important among the early post-Sankaran scholars in the Advaita tradition. His commentary, named Bhamati, on the Shankaracharya's Brahmasutra Bhashya, is very well known and has created a sub-tradition within Advaita called Advaita.
She is the resident monastic at the Chinmaya Center in Atlanta.
Samasta jana kalyane niradam karunamayam namami chinmayam devam sadgurum brahmavidvaram sadgurum brahmavidvaram. Advaita Vedanta, the philosophy of monism, finds its cardinal teachings rooted in the premise of one solitary, non-dual substrata as foundational to all superimpositions projected upon it, whether as avivanta, meaning that which seems to appear yet is not actually. She made a sabha of prolific male minds of the era with her daring demeanor and her sagacious wisdom. In the court of Videharaja Janaka, the king of Mithila, the revered Yajnavalkya Rishi would come under fire in penetrating Shastriya debate. He would be surrounded by other distinguished minds of the generation, most unique amongst them arguably being our Brahmavadini Gargi Vachakari.
Pankajam
Pavanani Pankajam
Tam namami
Deva Deva Ramakrishna Ishwaram Namami Geha Geha Ramakrishna Ishwaram Namami Geha Geha Ramakrishna Ishwaram.
not only just eating through the mouth, but getting through the eye, through the ear, through the nose, through the touch, also through the tongue. Not only one, 5. We have to purify it. The moment we purify it, what happens? Mind becomes calm. And what happens then? I know myself. The moment the mind becomes calm, there is no desire. Immediately I know who am I. And who am I? Joy, happiness. Happiness, eternal. We need not to bother about anyone. They found out the 3 common things in our study.
Very informative things about these philosophies of qualified non-dualism, absolute, and dualism. And we are now concluding to Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna is the prophet of harmony, we know. We are very much informed about that this Samanvaya, he is the Acharya of the Samanvaya. That's why just now Swami just now said that it is that is Acharya Mahacharya Sarvadharma Sthapanastam Sarvadharma Sarupaka. Ramakrishna is the Sthapaka, establisher of all dharma. And this is all dharma sarupa. The essential nature, the essential teaching is the embodiment of that. Is there what is the essence of all this dharma? Samanvaya means harmony.
Torturing any sort of religious dishonesty or grammatical twaddle, or trying to put our own ideas into texts that were never meant for them. The task becomes easier if we can grasp this adhikara bheda, this differences according to one's qualifications, and if it's understood properly. So in conclusion, we can say it is the inherent harmony of the Upanishads that unites Dvaitist, Vishishtadvaitist, and Advaitist. There are the eternal underlying principles, such as the unity of an unchanging consciousness that is the same for all 3 schools, but interpreted differently. Therefore, these schools should build upon one another and complement each other, contributing to a more comprehensive understanding of truth.
Life and teachings allows us to understand that there is no conflict between bhakti and jnana, and that they are 2 sides of a coin. Sri Krishna in chapter 12 of the Gita also points out that worship of the unmanifest is exceedingly difficult for embodied beings. Since Madhavacharya and Ramanujacharya were realized souls, in my understanding, that means that they had the ultimate realization of God,
which again in my understanding means that they had that Advaitic realization of oneness. So my question is, having had that Advaitic realization of Brahman, could it be that they then came back and preached Dvaita or Vishishtadvaita and not Advaita because that was the path that led them to realization, and also because perhaps those are the easier paths to realize God for embodied beings?
Thank you.
I don't know if the Samadhi, when they come back to the mind state, because transcendental experience if it is the same, but when again enter into the mind, body and mind, that as the body and the mind was trained, it expresses through that mind. Naturally the expression is different, but experience may be the same.
Thank you so much. You going to take a shot at that?
No,
Thank you, sir.
There is a wonderful question. When they are realizing, what do they realize? So obviously, when they realize that oneness, how they can become duality. And the Swamiji answered them very nicely. When they come back to the body, maybe they're thinking it will be the better approach for them. That's good. And actually, philosophically, there will be a lot of other things, but any teacher, after the realization, they think, how I can teach that thing for my students. At that time, they may come down and express like that. That is also another answer. Thank you.
Thank you. That brings us to an end of our Q&A. Please give our panel members and our moderator. Thank you.
আরতির পর ছিল শ্রদ্ধেয় মহারাজ ঈশাত্মানন্দজির গাইডেড মেডিটেশন ও শ্রদ্ধেয় মহারাজ সর্বপ্রিয়ানন্দজির টক ও কোশ্চেন আনসার সেশন, যেগুলি আমি আগেই আপলোড করে দিয়েছি এই চ্যানেলে।
My pranams to Thakur Ma Swamiji, my Gurudev, Srimad Vishishtadvaita Maharaj, and to all the Swamijis, Matajis, Jyoti Mataji too. All the Acharyas and Chinmayji. It's been a learning experience for me. November of last year, Shubhita has been having a vision to do what? To have a Vedanta conference, to get Swamijis. November of last year, Swami Vishishtadvaita came, we met, Shubhita gave his vision and his lap. He took it up. In April, he called me and he said, we need to work together. Everything that you see has happened in 3 days has been under his guidance. Absolutely. I have gained so much from this journey of mine. I'm going to share a secret. Do you know? Swami Vishishtadvaita is a choreographer. How? He talked about Yati Puja. I said, Maharaj, Yati Puja, what are we going to do? Collect 10 ladies. This is how you're going to do it. I said, there's no open flame. He said, what about battery operated lights? Okay, that was done. He even said how the lights are going to go, how there should be flowers, how the ladies are going to stand, how hands are going to go up. You have to practice. So, in Bollywood, if there is a spiritual movie and there is a need of a choreographer, our Swami Vishishtadvaita highly recommended it. They say, what goes around comes back. In the morning, I got a text from Shantanu, you're giving vote of thanks. All you have is 4 minutes. So I have been timing or being timekeeper of the Maharajas and Matajis. So now I've taken 1 minute, so I have to put 3 minutes on here. The ocean of Vedanta has come to the shores of Alabama. We are so lucky that we can touch the waves. Let's humbly take that and continue the journey of our life. So blessed are the people over here, everybody in this room, that we, for the last 3 days, have been immersed in Vedanta. Let's put it in our practical life. Maharaj, I don't remember his name, I'm sorry about that. He said this is Kumbh. Seems like a mini Kumbh. Mini Kumbh, true. Let's take the nectar from here. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Swamiji, you said it was Kumbh. Truly, let's take the nectar and go with it. Everyone is blessed in here. everyone's hand has touched what's happening. Divya's not here, but oh, there's Divya. They say there is Annapurna in Kashi. This is our Annapurna. Divya Naidu. Give her a hand. Feeding 400 plus people. So many meals. I don't know how she does it. Absolutely amazing. And she doesn't live in Huntsville. She lives in Florence. She's on the road all the time. I don't know how Ajit stands it. But this is touched by everybody's hand. Divya actually named many of them, so I'm not going to repeat that. And my time may be running out. Yes. I just want to share two things. I had amazing volunteers, 22 of them with me, 16 serving the Swamijis and Matajis, and there were 4 that were doing the transportation, and that there were 3 runners. Anytime we needed something, just a text, and they would do it. We are very, 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 very thankful for them. So, we can't forget 2 things. Very important. Shubida, the core, but he has somebody behind him, his spouse. So, Vanna, wherever you are, I think you are the force behind Shubida. And the other thing is Journey for Vedanta started again in Huntsville in 2016 under the tutelage of Swami Vishishtadvaita. There is a Vedanta study circle here, and Montuda or Montude and Godidi, they are the ones that are carrying the word of Vedanta. And this is where we have 15 of the Vedanta Swamis and Mataji from gym membership. Mataji, when you spoke yesterday, I could feel the presence of divinity in you. Your eyes were sparkling. My time is over. So my pranams to all of you. Just 2 things. The person who took our video, see how God does this. I will say God. How God does this, I was talking to him. And Satyavrata found out that he follows Bhakti Yoga. So he said, I'm understanding everything. The gentleman who did our sound and light when I spoke with him, he said, I don't know, but I cried. Tears were flowing. So it's all because of you. Humble pranams for accepting this and enlightening us with the knowledge. I hope we can make a practical use of it. Shubhita, thank you so much. Thank you so much. One person, if I do not thank, that would be really bad because my whole life would be very happy. That's my husband. Not that he's going to say anything. I couldn't have done this without his support.
আজকের ব্লগ এখানেই শেষ করছি। 12 থেকে 14 সেপ্টেম্বর 2025 হান্টসভিল অ্যালাবামায় অনুষ্ঠিত নর্থ আমেরিকা বেদান্ত কনফারেন্স সত্যিই ছিল এক অসাধারণ আধ্যাত্মিক উৎসব। আমেরিকার বিভিন্ন বেদান্ত সোসাইটি থেকে মহারাজরা এসে তাদের অমূল্য উপদেশ ও অনুপ্রেরণাময় বাণী আমাদের হৃদয়ে ভক্তি, শান্তি ও শক্তির নতুন আলো জাগিয়ে দিলেন। সত্যিই এই কয়েকটা দিন ভক্তি আর আনন্দে ভরপুর ছিল। আশা করি আপনাদের কাছেও এই ব্লগের মাধ্যমে সেই পবিত্র অনুভূতি পৌঁছে যাবে। আর হ্যাঁ, আপনাদের জানিয়ে রাখি, স্বামীজিদের এবং ভলেন্টিয়ারদের আমি কিছু প্রশ্ন জিজ্ঞাসা করেছিলাম। সেইগুলি আমি আর এই ব্লগে দিলাম না, কারণ ব্লগটি অনেক বড় হয়ে যাচ্ছিল। সেইগুলি সাজিয়ে নিয়ে আবার পরের ব্লগে আসছি। ঠাকুর মায়ের কৃপায় সবাই খুব ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন। দেখা হবে তাহলে খুব তাড়াতাড়ি আবার পরের ব্লগে। জয় ঠাকুর, জয় মা, জয় স্বামীজি।